What's up, y'all? How you doing today? Are you grateful to be alive? Are you grateful that Elohim gave you another breath of life? Are you grateful that you have your sound mind? I know that before the end of this year, my supernatural powers are going to be fully and totally equipped. What does that mean? If you were threatened by my presence before, you're definitely going to be Yeshua struck. Now, after everything that I have survived, after all of the spiritual warfare that has come my way, because here's the thing, Satan is having conversations about me in the heavenly places, because no matter what, like, I'm still going to love Yeshua Messiah, the Holy Spirit, and Abba our Father. He knows that I call him by the name that I know, and I've been really frustrated lately. I always go back in these circles of frustration whenever I'm revealed more truth. It's like, wow, we've been lied to our entire lives of what Christianity is. And no wonder Christians are the worst people in the world, because they don't even worship the real Messiah. It makes total and complete sense. And I finally realized that, yes, you are to respect your parents. However, if they are manipulative, demonically and evil spirited possessed, and won't let go of that and refuse the Holy Spirit and want to walk in their carnal minds, all we can do is forgive our mothers and pray that they make it into the book of life. At this point in time, Eve is my sister in Yeshua Messiah. And she basically is on the side of Cain, So there's been lots of horrible stories in the Bible. I can understand why people act the way they do, or they lash out. Thankfully, I am a saved woman, so I don't act out in my flesh. If I exerted the same energy and power of disgust that Eve has done towards me back to her, I know I'd be definitely guilty. But I've never expressed my full and complete anger, neither physically or vocally, back to her about how I truly feel of all the years of domestic violence, domestic abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, allowing me and my brother to be abused by those in the church, both sexually and emotionally. See, here's the thing. I was raised in this Filipino community, this tribe, right? But this tribe is under the jurisdiction of Jesus Christ, Pig Latin, which is the blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus lie that they've been telling you for the last 2,000 years. Most of the Philippines are Roman Catholic, and they believe in, are afraid of ashwangs and mermaids and, the duendes. Like, these are stories that I heard growing up. My mother did not teach me about Yeshua Messiah, because she wasn't taught the truth about Yeshua Messiah. But now that I know the truth, I understand spiritual warfare. I know what it's like to bleed for the kingdom of Yeshua. I know what it's like to be put in bars, behind bars, for the kingdom of Yeshua. I know what it's like to be an innocent person in jail, like James, or like Paul and Timothy, right? And Peter. I know what it's like to walk in the spirit of Elohim, and what my life was like when I didn't have the spirit of Elohim. I was exactly like my mother. Ooh, mercy. I'm not going to say that she doesn't have any great qualities. But to me, it's like everything's been so fake that I don't even know if her great qualities are real. I mean, she can cook. She definitely can cook. She can cook. She can decorate. She knows how to take care of her garden. But when it comes to her own flesh that she birthed out of her vaginal canal, whom she curses every day, she tells me, "You're not a prophet. Your voice is too loud." I stopped singing. What else does she say to me? When I tell her I'm doing great in school, "Well, you should be doing great in school because I took your kids from you." The mental battles that I have overcome from being constantly and consistently every single day. My mother used to come home from work and beat us so bad. Like, unless she was in a good mood. Rarely. But oftentimes, when she came home through that door, my brother and I would be her beating bags, mostly me. But at one point in time, I remember she took my brother by like this piece of cloth and like took him by his head and threw him against the wall. And I was like, damn, fudge? I think we were like, I don't know how old. My father left us home alone when I was 2 years old and my brother was 0 years old. And my mother came back because he had went to go pick up mother from the workplace. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, you left them alone." But ever since then, it was a constant thing. So, yeah, I had a roof over my head. Yeah, I never was starving. Yeah, I was exposed to this white Jesus. But I also was extremely and physically, emotionally abused every day of my life until I left. In 2017, May, on Mother's Day, in the morning at 3 a.m. That's when they do their curses. Y'all know 3 a.m. is when the demons come out. At 3 a.m., I'm laying in bed. I'm divorced, living with my mother. I'm running my own salon, and I'm about to relocate me and my children to California because I was done with her abuse and I wanted to raise my children without her influence. She told me I wasn't worthy enough to raise my own children. So what her plan was, at 3 a.m., after I came back from California, signed a lease for a salon on Sunset Boulevard and had a house ready for us because I've met some really great people who believed in my business, saw that I was a successful business owner for the past 2 years. And, I've already had clients out there in California. That's why I went there in the first place. And so I came back to get my children. And she basically was like, "You don't live here anymore. This is not your house. I'm going to call the cops." So I believe my mind is a little gray when it comes to timeline in exact order, but that happened. I can't remember if that was before or after. It was definitely before. So then, I don't know how, but she let me back in my space, and I'm packing, I'm selling my things. And at 3 a.m., I was selling my things just like I did before I went to Chicago. Sold all my stuff within an hour, right? Before I left for California. So I have a place ready for my children in California. I have a salon ready for me to work out of, my own, in California. I even take care of my grandmother's sister, Patricia. And I stayed with her for a little bit and helped her out because she lived by herself and she had roaches all over her kitchen, all over her refrigerator. She had no fresh food to eat. They had her on all this medication that was making her go crazy. Nobody visited her because she was so far away from her family. Her family is in Vallejo and she was in Azusa, which is 45 minutes outside of Los Angeles. So I stayed and took care of her. She let me use her car so I could go get groceries for us. And she knew I was also working and, doing things for ministry. So she literally was like, here. But of course, her daughter was very jealous of the relationship that I was building with my auntie, my great aunt, and called the cops on us several times. And every time they came to the door, they were quite surprised to see me taking great care of her house clean, food to eat, and she was in her right mind. So I come back from California to get my children and the rest of my things and sell stuff that I don't need to bring across the country. When Darlene Eve Commonius, your favorite Tita Barbie, comes into my bedroom at 3 a.m. and starts punching me and hitting me and slapping me, going hysterical. I'm sleeping, so I wake up, and in defense, when you're sleeping, what do? Oh my, like, you're literally, I did this. And this is exactly what I did. Yeshua knows. And then my hands took her arms to stop her. Well, look, my nails are long, right? What happened? Oh, she got 3 little scratch marks. Guess who called the cops? Mother Eve. Guess who went to jail? Me. Did I attack my mother? No. Did I hit my mother? No. Did I defend myself from waking up from abrupt sleep? Yes. I went to jail for 21 days. It felt like years to me. I missed my son's 8th grade graduation, where he was the valedictorian of his class. He studied the great controversy and did a paper on Yeshua versus Catholicism. Yeah, it was prophesied that my son is a pastor and a scientist. And I touch and agree. So I'm very patient in how God is pruning my child. So I'm not going to force him to go into theology school at 18 years old. I'm not going to force, or 19 years, I'm not going to force him to do anything that he's not prepared to do yet. But the Lord will show him what his true calling is, his divine purpose. And as a praying mother, my son has been kept safe this entire time. His friends around him, things happen to them. I don't know about their lives. But as for me and my house, we worship Yeshua. No weapons against my family will prosper in Yeshua's name. I plead the blood of Yeshua over my life. And everything that has ever touched me, looked at me, either in a good way or a negative way. Because around me, you will be blessed. But if you misuse me, you will reap the harvest of that. So it took me until my 30s that I started to see more light about who I am. And now that I have a realer understanding of, one, my divine purpose, the supernatural powers he's given to me, the natural powers he's given to me, the gifts and talents that he's given me to preach, to speak, to sing, to make music, to listen to music, to recognize, to meet other prophetess and prophets and warriors of the kingdom, to encourage and to inspire, to be a community activist, a humanitarian, someone who sees them for their heart, not for their past. Because I was raised in a very domestic violent home. My dad went to jail a couple times for beating on my mother. Cops wore brown back in Downers Grove or Cassidy, wherever that was, that apartment, before we moved to Bolingbrook. So as I sit here today in my second year of theology school, online school, in the midst of all of this, mind you, I've moved a million times, baptized a lot of people, shared the gospel of the truth of Yeshua Messiah, and in between that have been in the worst situations that you don't need to know about right now. But what I understand is that I drink with joy and thanksgiving. I enjoy the presence of this water. And I'm grateful. I'm alive. I have my teeth. I have my eyes. I can breathe. I can hear. I can walk. And I am not afraid of the arrow by day or the pestilence by night. Trample on the enemy. No more anxiety. Trample on the enemy. If they hit you, they're not on your side. They've got spiritual pride. You gotta know. Walk in the holy flow. If they hit you, they're not on your side. You gotta know. Holy flow. If they hit you, they not on your side. If they hit on you, they not on your side. Spiritual pride. So, welcome to Kingdom Panthers, Guardians of the Shabbat. All the worst that could happen has already happened. Blessings come my way either way. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to fly through those clouds and meet my Redeemer. I forgive you, Mother. I forgive every person that's ever laid their hands on me. Why? Because I'm a princess. I'm a queen of a tribe. I'm a woman king. And I belong up there. I'm not even from here. Y'all don't even know. I don't need to take any substance to get where I need to be right here. People have offered me, DMTs, and I've seen cocaine, actually most recently. And it's like, I refuse it every single time. Because I know what it did to my brother. I know what it does to people that I've loved. People have overdosed on that, like their mind. Like you're literally, if you say yes to these street drugs that put you in a place that you're always in need of, if you say yes to that, then you're bonded. You're bonded. You're spiritually bonded. You are a slave to that substance. And as I watched someone that I love snort this up his nose, I said, you're better than this. You're a king of a tribe. You have a purpose in life. There is more to you than cocaine and terrible music. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm chosen to inspire people of color, from light skin to dark skin, that you are not what they say you are. The only name that matters is Yeshua and the name that he has given to you. So look up your numerology, look up who you are in your ancestry. Understand the history of opposition, the history of oppression, the history of rape, the history of molestation in your family ancestry. So you know the strategy, just like Deborah, to cancel the plan of the enemy. Right now, Satan is having a conversation with the Most High saying, I'm going to keep throwing these darts at her to see if she's going to crumble. I'm going to keep throwing these darts at her to see if she's going to blasphemize Yeshua Messiah. If she will ever leave your side. Guess what? I've never left his side and he's never left mine. And he died for me before I even knew him. And he had a plan for me. He had a plan for me. My bad. My sister just texted me and I'm processing. So anyways, I know who I am in the kingdom of Yeshua Messiah. And I know that whatever curses my mother speaks over me only comes back at her. And I still love her and I forgive her. So if you've ever had to deal with a demonic mother, me too. If you've ever been raped, me too. If you've ever been molested, me too. If you've ever been lied on, me too. If your kids were stolen from you, just like they did to all the slaves throughout all the years, me too. But I am chosen to break the generational curses in this land, in this native land that belongs to our ancestors. And I'm chosen to break the generational curses in my family. I'm chosen to see that
I'm not the only one in my family that's ever been molested and raped and abused. Perhaps my father and my mother have too, and that's why they've allowed for it, and that's why I've seen so much perversion in my life at an early age. But I declare and decree right now in the name of Yeshua Mashiach that I am thankful for the trials and the tribulations that have come my way. Because I am a kingdom warrior, guardian of the Shabbat, co-heir of the great I am. I too have a piece of God in me, Elohim, Abba, who created me and breathed life into my lungs. And the same spirit that raised Yeshua from the dead is the same spirit that gives me the strength to keep walking after I've been beaten. They want my soul, but Yeshua already redeemed it, and he paid the ransom for my life. And I'm here and alive to tell you that you're a part of the kingdom, and that we too will prosper, and this too shall pass. I came back for my children again, and again the demons stopped me, but I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep sharing the truth. This is my story, all for his glory. We are the most strongest creatures that has ever been created of all, even before the beginning of time, because we're the only planet that has sin deceiving us every single day. We need to take this serpent out of our spine. May Yeshua Mashiach bless you and keep you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. See, Catholics do this. That's a sign to the devil. But me, all I do is this. To worship you I live. To worship you I live. To worship you. Yeah. That's all he wants is our worship. So turn your face from evil, because soon these waters will flood every city and every home, and fire will come down from the heavens. Are you ready? Tame your dragon. Shalom.